Dean Show's on. Welcome to The Dean Show from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Dean Show comes from the man who made you pay for Nova Rex, Ain't Easy Being Cheesy, and Butch Black, the Mean Man. Join Summit City Noise producer Dean Robinson for a weekly tour featuring food, music, special events, animation, and interviews with people who are getting stuff done. This is The Dean Show. USA Today is very excited about the new Black Panther movie from Marvel Studios and Disney. USA Today, headline, Black Panther first reactions. It's astonishing, iconic, and will save blockbusters. The first superhero movie to star a black lead character, with Chadwick Boseman playing an African king and director Ryan Coogler at the helm, had its world premiere on Monday night in Hollywood. USA Today says Black Panther is the first superhero movie to feature a black lead character, which is true if you don't count Blade, Blade 2, Blade Trinity, Blank Man, Meteor Man, Spawn, Steel, Hancock, or the TV movie Mantis. If you don't count any of those movies, Black Panther really is the first superhero movie to feature a black lead character. Professional comic book artist Arvell Jones has drawn stories depicting Black Panther, Iron Fist, Iron Man, Superman, Wonder Woman, and various other DC and Marvel characters. Jones recently talked to The Dean Show at Fantasticon in Fort Wayne.
How long have you been a professional artist in the industry?
Well, I started as an assistant, I started in '72. As a professional, doing my own books, it was '74.
Now, where were you assisting?
I was assisting Richard Buckler, who was a prolific artist at the time and a fellow homie from Detroit, Michigan. It was me and about 15 other artists. We made a pact that if one of us could get in to work at the comic, work for the companies, then we would help each other to get in. So I was like the fourth person out of our group to get in. And my first book was with assisting him doing the Black Panther's Range, and with him and Don McGregor. And then I went on from that. That was like the first appearance of Killmonger. My first original book, it was Marvel Premiere features Iron Fist. And during the time that I did the Iron Fist series, I was awarded the Iron Man series, so I was the Iron Artist. But while working on Iron Fist, I created a character called Misty Knight, which is in the Netflix series, The Defenders. And last year, she was in a series called Luke Cage. The character is played by Simone Missick, and she plays a New York police officer fighting crime and trying to arrest Luke Cage quite a bit in the early series, but then later working with him and being a friend.
You talked earlier about some of the power struggles with the powers that Misty Knight could have or not have.
Oh, yeah, well, originally when I created the character, she was supposed to be a sidekick or a partner or a friend to the main character, which was Iron Fist. And the writer at the time was a gentleman by the name of Tony Isabella. And Tony was looking for somebody that Iron Fist could relate to. I said, I have the perfect character, a character I created right out of high school, and I had to talk him into it. And after kind of talking him into it, he asked me, well, what was her powers? And I explained to her well, she had, 2 bionic arms and a bionic leg. And he said, wait a minute, she's too powerful. Iron Fist has only got an iron fist. She's got too much power going here. You can't have, the sidekick being more powerful than the main character. I said, sure you could. He was like, no, we can't do that. I made a lot of compromises to get the character into Marvel. So she ended up with, a robotic hand, in our negotiations, which then got upgraded to a cybernetic arm that Tony Stark designed, which made her much more powerful than Iron Fist. But by that time, Tony was off the book and I was off the book, and he didn't worry about it.
Arvell, I'm an old school comic book fan, been reading these mugs since the 70s.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people will talk about comic books as a medium for kids. I don't believe that's the case because I don't know many kids putting out these books. I mean, you're a grown man doing this stuff professionally for years. So address that if you can, this notion of who are comic books for?
Well, these days, comics are definitely aimed more towards adults. But there are comics that are aimed towards kids. It's just a medium. You know, just like film, television, radio, it's just another media to tell a story. You know, when I was in Japan, I went there for a conference, and they do stories for everybody, for old people, for young people, for brides, trying to, understand, about weddings. They do comic books about, translating different languages from Japanese to English, and they do stories about that, and people learn from that. Here in America, they're mainly used for entertainment, and they could be very much a kid's title. When you're talking about Marvel and DC and the superheroes these days, they seem to be aimed more towards adults.
Arvell, your wife's here. How long have you been married?
Well, not to get in trouble, but I've been married 32 years.
Okay, well, we won't do all the math on that.
All right, 33 years. Okay, so just correct me.
Okay, now you're a prolific artist, very talented. Mm-hmm. Are you easy to live with? Are you hard to live with? What's going on?
Well, you have to ask her that, but I try to be good-natured. I'm having fun. And anytime you're having fun, you're happy. And when you're happy, why give anybody else a hard time? It just spoils the mood. So I try to be a good-natured, person and a husband. And I've learned the basic rule. Once you get married, you say yes, dear, a lot.
The Dean Show will be right back.
9 Mile Restaurant is a great place for excellent food. 9 Mile Restaurant is also a great place to enjoy refreshing drinks. Check out our daily drink specials. Monday, domestic bottled beer for $1.50 and domestic draft for $1.25. Tuesday, 12-ounce drafts of Blue Moon for $2 and large pitchers for $6.50. Wednesday is Margarita Night. Margaritas for $2.50. Small pitchers for $6. $11 large pitchers. Plus, Corona and Dos Equis for $2.75 each. Thursday, Miller Lite, Budweiser, and Bud Light in a bottle for $2.25. Friday, Jaeger Bombs for $3.50 and Busch Light for $2. Saturday, Irish Car Bombs, 2 for $8, and Screwdrivers for $2.50. Sunday, domestic beer buckets, 5 bottles for $10. Have fun and drink responsibly at 9 Mile Restaurant. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering.
Little Bo Peep had lost her sheep while out in the meadow green. They wandered close by some wolves who were sly, and soon by these wolves they were seen. These nasty old wolves dressed one of their kind to look like little Bo Peep. Out he did go with one thought in mind, to capture the poor little sheep. brutes! What cowards! What fiends!
What lamb chops!
Mighty Mouse! He's off! Mighty Mouse proves again that he's the champion of sheep and men.
9 Mile Restaurant serves delicious food for fine dining that families can afford. 9 Mile dinner specials include baked spaghetti Monday, baby back ribs Tuesday, Wednesday night Mexican dinners, and Thursday night Italian dinners. 9 Mile Restaurant is open 7 days a week. 9 Mile Restaurant is located 9 miles south of the Allen County Courthouse on US 27 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. 9 Mile Restaurant and Catering.
Those are Landis in a Landis moment. Get a dose of Landis. This is the Landis moment.
Dose.
Jeff, what's coming up on the next episode of A Dose of Landis?
Well, it's going to be totally different. This time I'm doing a thing where you could vote for what is the best show of mine, because I've been doing TV since 1994. So it's your turn to find out which is the best show that I've done.
So what are the choices?
We have the Jeff Landis Show, we have A Dose of Landis, Outlandish Reality, and wrestling shows.
All right, Jeff, what else is going on?
On February the 9th, they have a professional wrestling event. It's called Skywalkers. Evo Professional Wrestling out of Logansport, Indiana. They're going to have a scaffolding match and they have to fall to the bottom of the ring.
Watch A Dose of Landis, 11 p.m. Thursdays on Access Fort Wayne 2. Dose.
Whoa AM in Fort Wayne published another hilarious story online. Whoa. Headline: Allen County GOP to hold sexual harassment training. Republican Party leaders in Allen County are taking steps to make sure their candidates don't get caught up in a sexual harassment scandal. Allen County GOP Chairman Steve Shine tells our partners in news at ABC 21 they're inviting candidates for office to attend a seminar on the do's and don'ts so they can avoid what has happened to several public figures and celebrities already. We have an epidemic in this country with regard to sexual harassment. It is a moral scourge on society, Steve Shine says. GOP sex training may have saved former Indiana Congressman Mark Souder from sinning against his God, his wife, and his family by engaging in a romantic relationship with a part-time co-worker. Souder resigned from office in shame way back in 2010, long before anybody knew anything about politicians cheating on their wives. It's almost hard to believe that the NFL has chosen Man of the Woods Justin Timberlake to perform the 2018 Super Bowl halftime concert. He's the man who exposed Janet Jackson's breast during the halftime show at the 2004 Super Bowl 14 years ago. That little bit torpedoed her career, while Justin Timberlake, the man who ripped off Janet Jackson's top and Michael Jackson's sound, came off completely innocent. Not only that, Justin Timberlake's career has skyrocketed since then. That dude produces hit songs for kids' movies when he's not kicking it with Woody Allen. In 1989, A&M Records released Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814. The usage of the number 1814 represents the year the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, was written. NFL TV ratings are famously down this year, allegedly because some football players have taken a knee during the national anthem. Janet Jackson dedicated her Rhythm Nation 1814 album to the writing of the national anthem. Somehow, the National Football League sees fit to hire Justin Timberlake, the man who stripped national anthem lover Janet Jackson naked during the halftime show at the 2004 Super Bowl, to perform the halftime concert at the Super Bowl again in 2018, 14 years later. But I'm supposed to be mad about football players genuflecting during the national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner, a battle song for soldiers, was originally established as the national anthem for the departments and agencies of the United States of America by an executive order issued by President Woodrow Wilson in 1916. The song originated as a poem written by attorney Francis Scott Key in September 1814 during the War of 1812 when the British burned down the White House while he was trying to secure the release of a friend from captivity on board a British Royal Navy ship. Key witnessed the British bombardment of Fort McHenry. The fort's huge American flag inspired him to write Defense of Fort McHenry. A music publisher eventually matched the first stanza from Defense of Fort McHenry to a British party song called To Anacreon in Heaven, calling the new song the Star-Spangled Banner. To Anacreon in Heaven is a party song written by John Stafford Smith for the Anacreontic Society. The Anacreontic Society was a private club where British men could party all night long. Encyclopedia Britannica says, ancient Greek poet Anacreon wrote both serious and light poetry. The poems quoted by later sources, however, are in praise of love, wine, and revelry. Just like the Defense of Fort McHenry, To Anacreon in Heaven has 4 stanzas. In Defense of Fort McHenry, each stanza ends with the phrase, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Each stanza in To Anacreon in Heaven ends with the phrase, the myrtle of Venus and Bacchus's vine. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, desire, sex, and fertility. Myrtle is Venus's favorite shrub, also known as her sacred bush. Bacchus is another name for Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, ritual madness, fertility, theater, and religious ecstasy. We're talking about the vine of Dionysus, people. His vine. Francis Scott Key's Star-Spangled Banner, with all this British party music underneath, becomes a battle song for soldiers adopted widely throughout the 1800s, the 19th century. In 1916, President Woodrow Wilson signs an executive order establishing the Star-Spangled Banner as the national anthem for the departments and agencies of the United States of America. Congress passed legislation establishing the Star-Spangled Banner as the national anthem in 1931. President Herbert Hoover signed that bill into law in March of 1931. I found a fascinating story published by National Review talking about a case in 1942 about saluting the flag and who has to do it. National Review. We're talking about World War II. In January of 1942, the West Virginia Board of Education passed a resolution requiring that a salute to the flag become a regular part of the program of activities in the public schools. A small group of Jehovah's Witnesses, however, declined to salute. Though they were patriots, their conscience wouldn't allow them to demonstrate the required reverence for the flag. They risked punishment and persecution for their stance and appealed to the federal courts for aid. In 1943, with the Second World War still very much in doubt, the Supreme Court rendered its verdict: no official, high or petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion, or force citizens to confess by word or act their faith therein. In 1943, the Supreme Court basically decided that the United States is good enough for people who are thinking that they don't have to be forced into saluting a symbol of anything. Somehow, some people believe that genuflecting during the national anthem at a National Football League game introduces politics into an apolitical situation. Anyone who believes the national anthem has nothing to do with politics really isn't paying attention. The national anthem is executive policy converted into federal law that rules the departments and agencies of the United States of America, including military branches.
To your music, I really used to like your song you gave him. Now you just follow along. What happened to your music? What happened? 'Cause I like your songs, I'm so good, but you're not feeling so strong. I'll take the blacklist. They better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not fading tonight, and I won't join their fight. They got a blacklist. They better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not dying tonight. I won't fall, I won't fight. Their TV is a drug, should be labeled as such, 'cause an hour a day is an hour too much. But look, there you are, you just can't get enough. But that airtime's not free, and you can't pay that much. I'll take the blacklist. They better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not fading tonight, and I won't join their fight. They got a blacklist. They better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not dying tonight. I won't fall, I won't fight. Super slave, tethered to a golden chain. I really liked your video, but I couldn't tell if it was you. Soon you're feeling all the pain, when album sales are on the wane. You know you really can't complain. You sold your soul, now where to stay? Now you've got a job to save, so give the people what they crave. Blow on kisses, smiles and waves. The label says how to behave. What's a slave? I'll take the blacklist. They better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not fading tonight, and I won't join their fight. They got a blacklist, they better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not dying tonight. I won't fall, I won't fight. I'll take the blacklist, they better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not fading tonight, and I won't join their fight. They got a blacklist, they better spell my name right, 'cause I'm not dying tonight. I won't fall, I won't fight.
Thanks for watching The Dean Show. I'll be here next week.
The Dean Robinson Radio Show presents news and social commentary from Fort Wayne, Indiana, hosted by Summit City Noise producer Dean Robinson. The Dean Robinson Radio Show airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. on Indiana Talks. Use the TuneIn Internet Radio app to hear Indiana Talks 24 hours a day, or visit indianatalks.com. The Dean Robinson Radio Show is also a podcast, available online, on demand, at Facebook and Summit City Noise. Listen to the Dean Robinson Radio Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. on Indiana Talks.